Have you ever had a period of time where you've not indulged in something that you enjoyed, something that you liked? You didn't eat a certain food or have fast food for a long time, and then when you had it again, the experience, if like not in a dieting context or where you didn't feel guilty afterwards, it tasted 10 times better, it felt 10 times better, it seemed better. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, and to a degree, we're all kind of addicted to vices, outlets, and other things, whether that's food, whether that's sex, whether that's porn, whether that's experiences, whether that's drinking, whether that's smoking. We all have the things that we enjoy doing. In some way, we're kind of all addicted to these things because I've noticed eventually you always crave the absence of something. So, for example, I did a 3-day fast, and when I broke the fast, right, I missed being hungry. I missed the feeling of being hungry. The feeling of being overly full did not feel good. The thought of being hungry, although most people would consider that a negative experience, sounded good to me because I missed that feeling. And to a degree, we all have an addiction to consuming whatever that may be: porn, masturbation, relationships, food. It could be multiple things, because when you refrain from those activities, the desire and urge gets stronger and stronger, and it is almost harder to stop. And then if you mentally associate with the thing that you're trying to avoid doing, you just build a nest to create that urge stronger. And so saying that I won't do something for a certain amount of time, this is day 1, day 2, day 3, you're just building a conscious awareness to the fact that you've abstained from something for that long. And then you become more aware of it, therefore the temptation grows stronger. And any real change of that degree to stop consuming something that you're addicted to, you just have to change your identity with that thing. If you smoke, you tell yourself, I'm no longer a smoker. And then you do actions to prove that. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. I'm not saying that you're not going to have the shakes and you're not going to be nauseous and you're not going to have all the withdrawal symptoms that would lead you to have. That's the process. Your body is used to that nicotine, and without it, you're going to have the withdrawals. Some people do, some people don't. But eventually, if you don't substitute one vice for another, you quitted smoking cigarettes, but then you went to drinking, or you started taking Zins or whatever. To a degree, we're all addicted to all these consuming type things. For example, you stop watching YouTube for 30 days and then you go back to YouTube, although you shouldn't set an arbitrary time to it, but just hypothetical. The videos are more entertaining. You notice that you're more interested and engaged in the topics that they're talking about. And you can go on there longer without feeling a sense of boredom or like you want to switch to something else. You perceive the experience more positively, better, because you are not used to that stimulus. You're getting acclimated to that stimulus again. And so we all have these addictions and vices and coping mechanisms that we've become addicted to without knowing it. And part of that's cultural, part of it's whatever, escaping from reality, whatever it is for you. I just thought it was interesting that, absence makes the heart grow fonder is a statement for more than just love and relationships. And, it could be food. You could have a weird identity with eating and, binge eat and then starve yourself and binge eat and then starve yourself and all these things. And then like, if you just change the way you look at everything and realize that, like, I may be hungry now, and if I gorge on food, I'm going to be overfull and then miss that feeling of hunger. And so you just, you went from one state to another state that is less comfortable than the previous state you were in, found out that the grass wasn't greener on the other side, and then wanted to go back to what you already had. You became appreciative of something that you already had now that it's gone. I guess that's life. That's a pretty relatable thing for many people in life. I've kind of gotten this topic because recently I didn't really consume porn much, just because it's just I see it as kind of evil. I don't really like the idea of it, the It just doesn't sit right with me. And so lately I've been really trying to avoid any like sights of, you know, women that are like even provocatively dressed, anything that could tempt me into wanting to, you know, masturbate or watch porn or indulge in that type of behavior. I just think that it's draining, and that eventually, I know that with time and desensitizing myself to that stuff, that it'll no longer be that the thoughts or the lust might be there, but it's easily controlled because I built up the experience of not giving into that stuff and not really caring or focusing on it. And I'm not gonna do like a set day. I don't even know what day it is. I'm not gonna do any of that, because then that just reaffirms or creates a nest egg of an idea or a perception that if I'm day 73, then, you know, day 74, then I do it, and then now I'm back to day one, and then like, but if you fall off the wagon, you shouldn't look at the progress loss. You should just continue as it's a new lifestyle, a new way of being, instead of an arbitrary number that you made up to make it seem more, I don't know, impressive. Because at the end of the day, this should be a goal of your own, not just to boast a number to other people. It doesn't matter how long you've gone without eating food, or you've been eating clean or dieting, or what matters is right now. People are always going to perceive you for in the moment, not what you might look like 3 months from now, not what you might accomplish from 2 years from now. They will when that time comes, but that time's not now. Time is now. And if you are still overweight and you tell them that you're on day 73 of fasting, or eating a certain way or whatever, they don't really care, because they perceive you for what they see. That's just the state of human beings. That's how we are. We're physical beings, and we see in the physical realm what you can touch was tangible. And so because of that, you know, we shouldn't judge, but that's just human nature. That's what we do. So kind of take a look back in your life and see the things that might have a hold over you that you never noticed had a hold over you. For example, for me, like I said, it was like lust and porn. Although it wasn't a big part of my life, I can manage that, control that, and not really, you know, entertain it. But to some degree, as a man, I'm prone to looking at women. I am attracted to women, and this is very difficult for men. We are wired to like what we see. However, I don't think indulging in that behavior is conducive to the life that I want to live. So take a look back, take a step back, and kind of analyze the things that you have in your life that might not be, you know, a good behavior or pattern, and then disassociate with that behavior and start thinking about the person that you want to be, rather than the behaviors and actions that you are now, that you might have an identity as being you. Like if you're an alcoholic and you drink a lot of beer and you say, I'm an alcoholic, or that's why I drink, or stuff like that, then you're just reaffirming the fact that you are coping with whatever it is that you're coping with the use of alcohol. And then that's a crutch, or that's helping you. And to say like abstinence makes the heart grow fonder, this could be used for things like, you know, working really hard and then, you know, having that day off or that vacation, or hanging out with a friend that you haven't seen in a while, or your relationships, you're smothering each other in a relationship, and you take a step back and, you know, get some fresh air away from each other and away from the relationship, and then you come back and you like work through some of the issues that you might have been having, realize that it wasn't as big of a deal as you made it, you know, stuff like that. That's good. But then also like things like alcoholism or smoking, or things that aren't bringing you any joy, they're detrimental to your finances, your health, whatever, you can take a step back from that, realize that addictions are only a behaviored pattern, because eventually you lose the enjoyment from alcohol. You need more and more of it to get the same effects. You know, you're chasing the dragon. If you step back from that, change your identity with that thing, instead of I am an alcoholic or I am a smoker, say I don't do that anymore. You know, I'm not someone that partakes in that activity. It's not going to be easy, but changing your identity with things, realizing that at the end of the day, everything is kind of an addiction. Despite the bare minimum requirements of food and water, caffeine's an addiction, coffee's an addiction, eating lots and lots of palatable foods is an addiction, you know, watching YouTube is an addiction. Changing the lens that you look through on the way you perceive things, rather than just constantly consuming, might help you appreciate more of what you have, make you more grateful for the things that you have in your life, and maybe help you with some of the things that maybe you have, issues that you have going on. Like for me, for example, with the constant content and endless highlight reels of people out there, and then an overwhelming sense of what's the point? That's kind of where I'm at in life. What's the point? I know we're born. There's a 1 in 400 trillion chance of us being born, but there's a 1 in 1 chance of us dying. So, and not to get into religion, not to get into all the other things, it's just kind of perplexing to me why we're here. And I know that I want to have the best experience while I am here and not rely on anything, any substance or any vice or thing that will take away from the beauty that is life. I didn't always see it that way, but lately things have been looking up. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I appreciate you watching. Please like it, comment, subscribe, do what you want to do, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. See ya.